I don't know what to say." Julian Raleah, the Marquess of Grayson, stared into Beth Howell's face. It was inconceivable. She was standing in his study. He never thought he'd see the day. She actually wanted him to travel with her, in hopes of recovering a dowry that in all probability didn't exist any more. In all his 30 years, he couldn't recall a single woman visiting him alone. What made her appearance even more confounding was that they weren't friends. Whenever they attended the same parties and events, they were cordial to each other. But any fondness they shared had been extinguished 8 years ago, when her brother had pointedly told Grayson that he wasn't good Tom and refused his request to marry Beth. Hard to believe that it had been 8 years since he'd courted her, yet she was still beautiful. Her heart-shaped face and high cheekbones made him want to cup them in his hands and feel her warmth. The shade of her lips would put a perfect summer rose to shame, and her brown hair glistened as if the sun had painted streaks of copper in her locks. But her eyes, those magnificent blue orbs, reminded him of the deepest sea depths. You could drown in them and never want to be rescued. What completely inappropriate thoughts. She was a woman who barely acknowledged him. Yet he'd seen her play with babies and pet stray dogs that others ignored. He'd even heard that she comforted her brother's detested racehorses when they were foaling. Thus, it was easy to comprehend where she placed him in the order of the universe. Dead last. But tonight, Beth Howell stood in his study, asking him to travel with her. Alone. He crossed his arms against his chest and regarded her. "I'm a man of honour. I can't travel with an unmarried woman. People would think I'm taking advantage of you. I'm trying to convince investors that my steam engines are sound.